I know. So okay, so a lot of people. Okay, that's not the most asked question I get about you though. So I got to ask you this
Now
question.
that's fucking
Hold
based.
up.
James, this is Beardson. I apologize for being such a pathetic little validation seeking homo. I've been angry since Tyrone broke up with me and I am struggling to deal with it. I shouldn't have lashed out. God bless.
Wow.
God bless, Beardson. God
God
bless.
bless. What do you got to say to that, James?
Am Ren, brother. I'm right there with you. That's classic. But no, I think you're gonna say the question that
Yeah.
you get the most.
Yeah. So the question I get the most about you is literally I've gotten this like probably 10,000 times. Everyone's like, we want to see James Allsup versus Nick Fuentes. They keep asking me, but I feel like, I mean, I'm friends with both of you, and I don't think that's like productive or like but you need to answer the question because I'm sick of being asked about it. So I have to ask you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, politically, I don't know what we would actually disagree about. I think that he tends to be a little bit more allied to Trump personally than I do. I tend to be a little bit more skeptical of the Trump administration than he does.
Yeah.
But and on the Catholicism question, I mean the excessive, I guess it's hard to find the word for it, but worship of the church,
Now
necessarily
that's
the church
fucking
as an institution.
based.
Hold up.
Proud of you for keeping on. Love you, man, no homo. Keep going and you'll only grow.
Hey, thank you so much, TFW. I really appreciate that.
Based.
All right, go ahead.
Awesome. But generally speaking, like I don't think we have that much politically that we disagree about. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm obviously like not religious; he's more religious, and for
Who
everybody
fucking
who's
cares?
demanding,
Who cares? Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I don't think there's a debate here. I mean, you guys used to work
yeah,
together. So I feel like it would be just a personal attack debate. Like
right,
it wouldn't be like there would be no actual
yeah.
substance because I mean, you've already worked together. You obviously agree on 90+% of the stuff. So yeah, I
Well, I
just
think too, like whose interest would that serve, right? You have two young people who are successful in our own rights. I mean, he does a live show that
yeah,
gets 500, 600 people every night, which is great.
more than Beardson, more than Beardson.
Yeah,
Now
yes,
that's
significantly.
fucking
Hold up.
based.
Okay. I don't know why Streamlabs is like uh, it censors certain words. That must be a setting. But he says, does James regret any of his gay behavior during the trad thought debacle because he was gay as fuck? From LM.
Well, you can look. I'll answer that question real quickly. Who is creating or who is generating the landmark free speech cases right now in the U.S. in the U.K. Excuse me. It's Lauren Southern and Brittany Pettibone and Selmer. And frankly, the people who were attacking the women the most like viciously were the like autistic spurgs. And if you want to build a movement that is going to attract regular people, that's going to attract people who have financial resources who can support you. I'm not saying you have to appeal to women directly, but you have to not be like frightening to regular men and women, right?
Right.
We don't hate women. Like I think this whole like women hating meme like kind of gets taken too seriously sometimes. Like we don't actually hate women. Or I don't hate women.
Yeah.
But I recognize the differences in gender roles, absolutely, and that's why I've never advocated for like women leading a movement.
Yeah.
Right? But women can be very effective at creating propaganda and at creating
And having kids.
media source and at creating kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
having kids.
Creating
And
kids,
so
washing dishes, cleaning. I mean, I love women too. Doesn't mean I think they should vote, but I mean, I love them. I love them for what they are. Yeah, I didn't really. I already see this in the chat. James, you don't get any women. You're an orbiter. All this stuff. So I mean, I totally get both sides on this. Like, I do get like, people like overly showing.
okay, the person saying that is like Gucci Groper though. Like
Yeah.
he's been gagging on a certain person's.
Nazgul, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
hanging out with some cat boys.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, if you really like don't believe that I am capable of getting women, like I could show my Instagram
I mean, yeah,
inbox, but
you did hook up with Laura Loomer that one time at the Trump Hotel, so you
absolutely,
can definitely
absolutely.
get women.
Jack Posobiec actually recorded that on his cell phone, I think. So yeah, the
Do
video's
you
out there.
do you remember the guy? Do you remember the guy who like recorded me on the phone and I like grabbed that shit from him and like deleted the video? And he was what was he from? Like some like Breitbart or something?
I forget who that was, but yeah, that was a weird circumstance.
Yeah, we were hanging out at the Trump Hotel and like ran in with Jack Posobiec. Like him and Spencer almost like got in a fight on the street, and
Right. Yeah.
that shit was wild. And then we ran into Loomer. Cassandra was like drunk off her ass at the hotel, and like I think Lucian maybe
As
or
usual.
yeah, like the typical crew. But wow, that was a funny time.
Dude, that was like back in June, but that feels like years ago, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, it really does. I mean, 2018 alone, like, you know, we really just started the blood sports stuff like a couple months ago, and it's just like it seems like that was forever ago, but it's just really not. So, 2018 has been quite the shit show. I've enjoyed it a lot more than 2017. I think
yeah.
uh, people are just cutting the bullshit and getting straight to it. Like instead of having these passive aggressive Twitter battles for like 2 years, it's like just fucking get on the camera and talk about it.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's also good because like we're all banned from Twitter. Let me just circle back real quick and
yeah,
wrap up what I was saying earlier, but
yeah.
about like the debate that everyone wants. It's like who's
Would you ever like get on with Fuentes and just like talk, or would you be on the same stream? Like, are you guys on like not talking at all terms?
well, at this point that's complicated because there are certain issues that are being resolved in terms of like company ownership stuff
Sure,
that's being
sure.
resolved kind of behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
But and so like legally it's just not advisable. But I mean like in the future possibly I don't know he would have to I have to hear an explanation for why he accused me of doxing his sister, which is just a vicious allegation. Like, I mean, that's a serious allegation, right? When you say that somebody else was involved in the doxing of your family members with no
You
evidence of it.
obviously didn't dox his sister, right?
No, his sister's info was out, up since like December on poll, and he went on Twitter and tried to accuse me of like doxing his sister. Like, look,
Now that's
I'm not.
fucking based. I
That's
love how
Hold
James
up.
falls back on white knight ethics to excuse the fact it's an economic consideration, not one of principle, but keep dishing out the hard truth, bro.
Damn. White knight ethics to excuse the fact it's an economic consideration. What do you got to say about that?
what sorry. What was that?
They said, I love how James falls back on white knight ethics to excuse the fact it's an economic consideration, not one of principle, but keep dishing out the hard truth, bro. I think they're talking about the thought thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure understand what they're saying. I suppose economic consideration, like, are we talking about like beta
Maybe.
orbiters like donating to Patreons? Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I think that's what they're talking about. I mean, my take on that is like I I'm a YouTuber. Like I'm like just like a entertainment guy. So like people in entertainment do all sorts of stuff to like like Brittany Venti. I think is super funny. Some people just watch her for her boobs. That's like a thing that some orbiters do. But like I don't know. She's making money. I don't really blame her. Like if I had huge tits, I would probably do the same thing. Like you can't really blame someone. If you don't like her, just don't watch her or don't be friends with her. Like I think it's that simple. I think like people are like
yeah,
just literally like just stop. If you don't like someone, just don't support them. Just do your own thing. I think there's like a bit of jealousy involved. Um, I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
I don't know.
and nobody's forcing you to donate money to Lauren Southern, right? Like,
Yeah,
like you're not being held at gunpoint, being forced to do that.
yeah.
And I think also we should look at what that says about men, about modern men, if they are like donating to women like online with the hope of like like having sex with them.
Yeah.
Right? Like if that's what's going on, like we need to really take a hard look at what's going on with men in order to resolve that, because there will always be women have been tempting men with their tits for thousands of years. Like that's just how
you don't
biology
get a
works.
free blowy for a $25 super chat? I thought that was like in the Patreon.
I think that's in the terms of service. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean that I was under the impression that's you're getting some sort of extracurricular rewards for all the super chats.
Well,
I mean that's what I do to my fans. That's why I'm getting all these
yeah. I mean,
Streamlab donations, because at the end of the week we meet down the corner and
oh yeah.
why else would you donate? Shit.
Absolutely, but two things can be true at once, right? Like there can be a problem with men being orbiters and giving too much adoration and like love and respect and this kind of white knighting phenomenon. That is true. I think men online do that too much for women, but women can also be effective at propaganda, right? We can recognize that women can make videos that appeal to thousands and thousands of people without like heaping adoration and undeserved praise upon them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be. It's not black and white.
And here's the biggest hypocrisy that I just cannot. It's almost like double speak in a sense that I really don't understand. Is on one hand, they say, thought.
Now that's fucking based. It's not about beta orbiters, it's about you betraying Nick BC. You think being on the side of the trad thoughts was a good business decision and not one made on principle.
Okay. So they're saying that you were only on the side of the trad thoughts because you thought it was a good business decision and not based on principle.
No, it's because I've actually spoken to women in my life before, and I know how the appropriate way to deal with women is. Right? When you're talking to women, you don't like react with vitriol and hatred and anger, and you don't act like in a toxic way to women. Like it's called amused mastery, bro. And for all these guys who are like MGTOWs freaking out about this stuff, you would think they know the concept of amused mastery, where you can treat them, you treat them with respect, but you don't give them permission to walk all over you. Mm-hmm. Right? You hold frame. And with the women situation, it was a situation where I was not going to go out there and say, like, there were some guys out there saying, like, oh, these women are great, they're amazing, we should love and promote them to the front of the movement. No. But should we spurg out and say, women, get off my movement, like, I don't think that's right either,
Yeah.
There's a middle ground there, right?
Yeah. Well, like I was saying before, LM did that Super Labs or whatever Super Labs. So in one breath they say, and by the way, I am very far from being like, oh, some like, oh, everything women do is great. Like I actually hate like the women's rights little marches and pussy hat shit. Like I hate that shit. So don't get me wrong there. I'm not some sort of male feminist or anything like that. I think apparently there was some people on the alt-right turning into feminists. So I think that was kind of weird. Like they were like some weird like super women empowerment thing going on, which I think kind of contradicts what most of the right wing believes.
Like some of the Tara McCarthy stuff, dude, I'll freely admit, like that was like fucking strange.
It was kind of left field. It was like, okay, like someone. So I never saw it, but yeah, someone told me like, oh, Tara McCarthy's like basically a feminist, and I was like, what? Like I've talked to her before. She seems pretty cool. I didn't really think that was right, but the point is, on one hand, they're saying all girls are thoughts, fuck girls, and all this stuff, and then at the same time they're saying make white babies. You need say the 14 words, make babies, make white babies, and it's like, wait. So your whole life goal is making babies, yet men are not even supposed to talk to girls because they're all thoughts and fuck all girls.
Right. And take stock of the people who are out there saying that. And look, I'll just be completely honest. Like you're going to find it's 75+% virgins. Okay. Yeah. And I don't mean that in the sense that like our enemy will say that like, oh, you're just a bunch of basement dwelling virgins. But in this case, like it was a very virginal movement. And when it comes to dealing with women, like the way to deal with women is not to like praise them and everything and say, oh, you're so smart, you're so beautiful, you're so good at everything. But it's also not to see like, fuck you, bitch, you're fucking dumb, I fucking hate you, like I want to kick you down the stairs. Oh,
Yeah.
like that's not the way to do it either, right? There again, there's a middle ground there where you borrow some elements of either extreme. Obviously, you don't borrow any physical elements of that extreme, but
and if a girl's being a dumb bitch, like I'm gonna call her a dumb bitch. Like that's like that's how it works. Like but the thing is like don't and not when you first meet a girl, like everyone's not a dumb bitch. Like wait until innocent until proven guilty, right? Like sort of that type of mentality.
Sure, and there are some women who like are really stupid and should be called as such. But there are some women who are a net positive. And
yes,
again,
some women are awful and ruin it for others, but then some women are dope. There's a lot of cool women out there. I mean, my mom is awesome. I love my mom. She's cool.
Well, and just let me circle back to what I was gonna say earlier. Like when you buy into the infighting, when you go along with the people who are saying, oh, you should all debate each other, you should debate each other on women. It's like this movement, speaking very broadly, does not have a lot of allies and friends right now. And this is not to say that you need to compromise your principles or compromise what you believe to be true and important, but who does it serve? Whose interests are being served when you go out and attack people who are a net positive for your movement, right? Whose interest does that serve? Mm-hmm. Does that serve yours, or does that serve the interests of the opposition? Mm-hmm. Oh, and I also want to say, Eric Odinson, how does it feel being such a pussy you have to use a fake name in a YouTube chat? Bud.
Ooh.